Yes, I can light the whole universe. I am different, I am purpose, I am brilliant. Yes, I feel it.
Well, nobody gonna tell me my bra was hanging out. Okay, anyway. Hey, gorgeous ones. All right, so it's time for this month's foundation reviews. And I've got 3 to try that I was wearing this month. So I wanted to share them with you. Let's go over and talk about them, see what I think about them. Are they worth getting? You know, things like that. All right, so if you would like to see what I wore this month, what I tried out this month, don't go anywhere. All right, so let's talk this month's foundations. Now, 2 I had planned, and then 1 was a surprise toward the end of the month, and I wound up trying it out, and I was like, oh snap. And I really, okay, so let's just talk. So I have 2 affordable drugstore ones, and I have 1 more luxury high end, you know. And so what I want to say is I will, as we're going through them, I will put up the number, the shade range, the amount in the shade range. I will also put the price for it, you know, things like that, you know, when I'm talking about them, because I tend to forget to say those things. So I will remember to put that in the right here when I'm talking about them. So anyway, let me just get started. So this is the first one I tried, which was the Revlon Photo Ready Candid. This is a newer one. I think they came out a couple of months with it. I had it for a minute, but I had asked the people want me to do a review on it, and they wanted to see some other things first. So this one kind of got pushed back. So I tried it. This is a natural finish anti-pollution foundation. Now, I don't know what an anti-pollution foundation means. I'm just reading what they said. You know, okay, because, you know, makeup companies be acting like, you know, makeup can, you know, change your whole entire life. You know, it's going to like keep the, but anyway. So let me tell you about this. This is a medium buildable coverage, and I like it. Now, you only need about 1 pump of this. About 1 pump will give you a good medium coverage. If you do 2 pumps, you are almost at a full coverage right there. It says it has with anti-blue light. It's oil free. You know, it hits all the bells and whistles. So it's not a matte one. It's more of a satin finish. That's why it says a natural finish to it. Hold on for a second. Okay, so I have 330 Light Honey. What I will say, and I said it, I think, in my favorites, and I think my favorites is going to come after this anyway, so it don't matter. This is a very lightweight feel on your face. It is it's a satiny finish. So even though it's an oil-free, it's not that dry, oil-free look, and it doesn't dry out your skin. Right now, because it's wintertime, my skin doesn't need to have a super drying effect on it. It needs something that has a little moisture in it. And so you know, it needs something that gives it a nice natural satin finish. And this is what it does. This is very lightweight on, even though when you take it out, like, oh shoot. Oh no. Okay, so let's talk about from the packaging standpoint. So as I said, let me say this. This is 0.75 ounces, which annoys me because I hate when companies like makeup brands do this. You know, the standard is 1 ounce for foundation. So don't be doing this, giving me less, because then I might not notice it. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm getting this is the price for 1 ounce when it really isn't. And I do the math. So really you're paying for 3/4 of it. So there's still 25% more that it could be if it was an actual ounce. And that's what annoys me about these companies when they do it. Just one of the things. Now, the packaging, it's in a plastic one, and it has a pump, which is good. Because I would prefer a pump in something like this than when they do the squeeze bottles. I have some that are squeezed. The Makeup Forever Matte Velvet is a squeeze, but I kind of like this better because it's more controlled. But anyway, this is, I'm going to take a little bit out. So if you see it coming out, it's pretty thick. It's, you know, it comes out pretty thick, but when you put it on, it's a very soft feeling, and it does melt with your skin really well. You see how it's just, and it feels really good. It's like a very soft feel, and it doesn't It doesn't create that mask feel to your skin. It feels like you barely have on anything, and it has that breathable feel to it, which is, if you know anything about me, and let me just say this, I like a more natural finish, and I also like a medium coverage because I like my skin to show through. You know, because when you have your skin showing through and some slight imperfections showing through, it doesn't look as mask-like. It doesn't come off as, oh, she got on all that makeup. People tend to not notice how much makeup you have on when it looks more natural. Because I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, she wear all that makeup. I'm like, so do I. I got on, trust me, I'm like, trust me, I got on a whole lot on this face. But because mine looks more natural, people don't notice it as much. And please, could y'all blend down up in here? Just blend down there. Okay. So when it comes to this one, I think this is a really nice foundation. If you can find your shade in it. But you know how that works half the time. Okay, so then next up is the Guerlain Lingerie Depot right here. Now this has sunscreen in it, SPF 20, but let's be honest, we know sunscreen and foundation really don't make that much difference. Of course, doesn't have the best shade range, but this is the best shade range that I could find in Guerlain. So I went with this. Now this is a Natural Perfection Foundation Skin Fusion Texture. This is a very liquidy foundation. It also has a, you know, what is up with these more luxury brands putting perfume in things like foundation? How about no smell? Make it unscented. So this has a really strong floral kind of perfumey smell. So if you don't like those smells, don't get it. I have it on right now, and so let me show you. It's a very wet, it's a, you know, even though it's got some silicone in it, it's a very wet one. You see how it's moving? So it's a very wet one, so it has a lot of movement. So you really don't need a lot of it, and then you want to just pull it in. Now this, if you can see, it has like a real pink tone to it. So it's a very kind of pink toned. Now I don't know if all of them are like that. There's just the one that I wound up getting based on I'm kind of pinky toned anyway at this part of the year. You know, my skin gets a little pale, so I'm not as peachy gold as I like to be. But anyway, this is when you put it on, it works best, it looks best with a brush. Now the Candid, you can use brush or sponge, it'll look good. This works best with a brush when because when I was trying to use a beauty sponge, it was moving wrong. It wasn't sinking in. But with a brush, and you just, you know, pat it on and then buff it, it smooths out. It comes on much better. This is one of these that is very natural finish. Not, you know, it's not mattifying or anything like that. As you can tell, I'm kind of like in that realm right now. But it's really pretty on the skin. And it doesn't dry you out. And like now, it has a very natural finish. It doesn't fall into my fine lines. It doesn't expand my pores up so you can jump in and go swimming in them. And those are the things that I really look for. When I wear it for long periods of time, I like them when they really, it seems like some of my foundations, and don't get me wrong, I do a lot of prep. I love it when they look one way when I first put them on, and then as you wear them, they really start feel like they're really melting into your skin and becoming one with you. And then it's just like, ooh, it really looks pretty. So that's the way this one feels. Now it's a glass bottle, of course. Thank goodness it's got a pump, because you know some of these expensive brands don't put pumps on them. They charge you like $50, but then you got to buy a pump, which makes no sense to me. But okay, never mind. I digress. Yeah, so this is a more watery feeling. So that's why you're not going to get that buildup. It's going to be definitely just a medium coverage, a kind of a light medium coverage. Not because like if you look at my skin, you can see like my, you know, freckles coming through or age spots or whatever you want to call them. You can see them more in this than in other foundations because it's such a wet, you know, a watery based formula. So when you're using it, make sure you use more of a water-based primer so that you can get a good, so they work well together. So like this one, I use the VDL Satin Veil Primer or the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Works beautiful with it. Those are the two that I've been using with it, and it really looks good on. So, that's how I wear them. So that's it. Now, this one, I wasn't even planning on reviewing. So this is how it happened. I bought this. This is the Hard Candy Glamouflage. I bought this a while ago because it was, as you can see, $3.50 on clearance at Walmart, and it was in tan. I bought tan and medium. The medium was too light, but I bought the tan and the medium, and I've had it for a while. Now, Baby Bop, Marcus does makeup now because it used to be Arian Glitz. Just so y'all know, Marcus does makeup is Baby Bop. He was talking about it, and he was like raving about it. And I was like, let me go on and try it since I already have it. And then I tried it, and I was like, oh shit, this is good. Now, this is a full coverage foundation. Let me just say that this is a full coverage foundation. But let me say now, but here's the caveat. I tried this first, loved it. And then I looked, I said, oh, they have reformulated things. So I said, oh shit, let me go try it again. So let me show you the difference. So here's the first one. This is a plastic bottle. Has a pump on it. Love pumps. I love pumps. I don't know about y'all, but I love a good pump. And just gonna let that go. So I have this, and like I said, I tried it. Now this works best with, did I use a sponge? No, I use a brush with this. It works really well with a brush or a sponge. I prefer the brush though. So use this because, and a lot of times what I'll do with the brush, I'll brush it in, and then sometimes you can just pat in with your blender. So if you want to do it that way, that's a perfect way to get it on too. So anyway, was using this, and I said, oh shoot, they've reformulated, because I noticed the color, and because I think I saw Baby Bop was talking about the color his, and I said, well, wait a minute, I think they didn't change the color names, and they have. So this is tan, and now this is this one is 1512 Warm Honey. Now the difference is this one was a little more, which one was it? This one, if you can tell, is more pinky. This is a more yellowy one. So I have them both, and I can like mix them up if I really wanted to. But I went and tried this one, and it performs just the same way. This is a full coverage. It's, matte, but not too matte. Like I said, I don't like the suck you dry matte. Some people need it. Don't get me wrong. If you need it, I understand. But for me, I'm oily, I'm combination. So I don't need it to be super dry, because when it is, it accentuates these lines, especially here, creates dry patches, where you're looking crazy. So that's why I like them when they're matte, but not too matte. And this is one of those. And it actually lasts all day. Now, the difference is this is now glass, and now it has a doe foot applicator, which is okay. I don't mind a doe foot. Don't mind it. So now, this stuff smells. Let me just say, and let me remember, I don't think the old one smelled as much. No, that's why. Yep, I knew I went crazy. The old one did not smell at all. This one, however, smells like paint or dry erase markers. Remember when they used to have the ones, now they have the low odor ones, but remember when dry erase markers were super loud? This is what this smells like the super loud dry erase markers or some serious paint. So if that bothers you, now it will dissipate once you get on your face, but I'm telling you, when you pull this thing out, it smells like those really like Sharpie markers. But I'm saying like the high odor dry erase markers, because them babies they would get you high just by opening them up. So that's what this smells like. Now, when it comes down to the coverage, it's flawless. It's beautiful. It's $7. This is a great one. Now, let me tell you, I've gotten rid of a lot of my drugstore ones because I really didn't like them. I didn't like the Wet n Wild. After a while, I was being real honest with myself. I said I had no idea what I was talking about. It wasn't that great. But now this right here, I've been wearing it for days. And look, I'll be looking at myself. I'll be like, dang, that looks good. So this is a really nice one. And it says it has 16-hour wear, oil-free. I don't know. I haven't worn them for 16 hours. I would say I can get a good 8-10 hours out of them. For real. A good 10 hours. And not to say that afterwards it looks bad, but you know, I'm going to have to pat, you know. But if you got some oil, just know, we're going to have to, like, you know, get a little mattifying powder or some, you know, I use a lot of the papers, the blotting papers. You're going to have to do that. So you get a good 8 hours out of them. Good. Now, once again, I always say my nose is different because I'm always having to blow my nose. So different. But this is a really, really good foundation. So let's recap. It's so interesting because I've been having some good times with these foundations lately. I don't know if it's because they stepping up their game or I'm just making good choices right now, because like I know there's one I was going to try this month in February, but I don't think that's going to happen because I've heard that it sucks. So now I'm going to go with the other one that I think is going to be a better choice on my high-end foundation. But anyway, I digressed. So anyway, let's go over. This is a beautiful medium coverage foundation. If you want to, if you're looking for something that's oil free, that will, you know, be a very light feel on you, on your skin, but give you a flawless finish. This is a nice one. I mean, they really did do really well on this one, I must say, because I'm not a huge Revlon user, but this right here is beautiful. The Guerlain, it's a nice foundation. Is it going to be one that I'm dying to use? Absolutely not. I like the Luminous Silk, the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk a little better than this. But it is a nice foundation. I'm not going to say I won't use it. Would I ever buy this again? I doubt it. Like the Luminous Silk I run out of, I would get another bottle of that. This, no. But if you like this type of finish where it's a little more liquid, it's a little more, it's not quite as coverage, you know, it's a very light coverage. If that's what you're looking for, this would be a nice foundation. And don't mind spending the money. It would be a nice foundation to have, you know, no lie. But it's just not, I don't think it's, I wouldn't spend the money again on it. You know, it's not one of those, well, yeah, I gotta have it again. It's okay. You know, it's a decent foundation, and you will look good in it. I'm no lie. You are going to look good in it. But for the $50-something, no, it's not worth it to me. The Glamouflage. Full coverage foundation. Don't want to spend a lot of money. You're going to get this Glamouflage. If you can find your color in it. Now, let me say this. There are more shades of this. If you can, because, you know, they only sell it at Walmart. But go on the Hard Candy site. If you're looking, go on their site because they actually have more shades. They're just never in, you know, Walmart's might have like 6 of them. So you know, as opposed to trying to find them there, I would just go on the Hard Candy site. But anyway, this is a nice full coverage foundation. Wears well. However, if you don't like smells, if you cannot handle smells, do not get this at all because it stinks. Just telling you. But otherwise, it's a great foundation. Now, like I said, it dissipates, so it's not like you're gonna smell it for long, but just not a good smell. Just not a good smell. All right, so that was this month's foundations. Tell me what foundations you've been using. Are you planning on getting any of these? Do you use any of them? And what are your thoughts on them? I would love to hear. What do you think about them? Have you ever used them? All right, it's your Lulu. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up or, you know, whatever you want to give me. And if if you're new, don't forget to hit the subscribe. I said it. Okay, I did it. As always, it's your Lulu. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free. Bye-bye.